Thank you all so much for being here. The world is crazy! And I am so appreciative. We are all so excited to be here performing for you. We realize this is such a beautiful moment in time to be singing, and such a privilege and such a joy to be sharing music with you all. So we are honored to be sharing this space with each and every one of you. And there are some people who are watching online because there's a Facebook Live and Instagram Live happening right now. Yo! Hi! My name is Ari Afsar. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. So I'm going to kind of front load a little bit about who Jeannette Rankin is and who she was, and why we are all here in this room right now. I had the privilege and the honor of originating the Chicago production of Hamilton 4 years ago. Yeah! The second person to ever play Eliza. It was such an amazing experience. A month after we opened, the election happened, and it changed the trajectory for so many of us, I'm sure, in this room of what our purpose is, what our life was, started questioning everything. And so I got extremely involved with this little platform that I had. I got involved with the United States of Women, with the Women's March, with the ACLU, and I needed to selfishly surround myself with badass women. And so I did that. And then I was in the likeness of women that were inspiring me every single day. And then I started to realize, how can we grow as a movement and as a society if we don't know who our foremothers are? So, like a typical millennial, I did a Google search of who was the first woman elected into Congress, and I stumbled upon Jeannette Rankin. And she was the first woman elected into Congress 4 years before the ratification of the 19th Amendment. She was the first and the last woman from Montana to be in Congress. There's not been another female Congress member in the House or the Senate. And then I became extremely ashamed. I was like, I don't know of this woman? I am so dumb. How do I not know of this woman? I'm sure everyone else knows. So I started asking all of my friends. I'm like, of course, you guys know who Jeannette Rankin is, right? You know who Jeannette Rankin is. And then to my surprise, nobody had heard of who Jeannette Rankin. And then I realized that I needed to do something. So I wrote a concept album about Jeannette Rankin, because that's what you do, is you write an album about a woman in history. And then I started performing a lot of the music. I started opening for Michelle Obama at the United States of Women. I started performing at the Women's March with 350,000 individuals and performing music from this concept album. Long story short, I got connected to Lauren Gunderson, who is America's most produced playwright, and the rest is history. So Jeannette Rankin grew up in a small town in Hellgate, Montana. She was supported. I'm just going to front load. This is not going to be the whole show. I'm not going to do a history lesson. I just want to I just want to do it now so we can just get to the music. So Jeannette Rankin was from Hellgate, Montana. She had a huge family, and she relied on her siblings, Wellington and Edna. And she needed her siblings in order to have the confidence and the wherewithal, the financial, she grew up in a lot of privilege, and the support in order to run and win the seat in Congress as the only female Congress member in 1916. And so then she was in Congress for 4 days, and then she had to vote on the war and whether or not the United States was going to enter into World War I. So this was her 4th day in office. And she completely got sidetracked. Her main purpose and mission was suffrage and was getting the 19th Amendment passed. But she ran on the pacifism career and on the mentality that that's a true leader, and all of her constituents, majority of her constituents in Montana, wanted her to vote no. And so she did. And she ended up being one of 49 other men who voted no on the war. But the press would have you believe it was her and her alone, with the scrutiny and the discrimination and the hate that she got and received from voting no on this war. And because of what we all know too well, gerrymandering, she did not get reelected the year after. But she was able to make such a huge difference of visibility, because representation and visibility is so necessary for us to be able to move forward and progress as a nation. So this first song is called Hellgate, Where She Was From.
2, 3, 4.
5 miles down the clock, Fork Street, running around, we keep doing
summer is sweet, doing it our way. This is all we need, feeling good, good and full of pride. Sun is shining, right inside, it's all we know. I'm home in Hellgate. Beauty runs in the river deep, the bitter air of the boatman eats. Black milk making me go weak, royalty does not come easy. Oh, a million men more than we need. We do find out all their greed. What we gonna do when we backed in a corner? Use our skulls, we make the orders. Living here in Hellgate, where the summer is sweet, doing it our way. This is all we need, feeling good, good and full of pride. Sun is shining right inside, it's all we know. I'm home. Living here in Hellgate, where the summer is sweet, doing it every day. This is all we need, feeling so, so good. My mama knew I would, it's all I know. I'm home in Hellgate.
So I don't know about you, but even when we sometimes feel like we have our purpose and we have our mission, we are making it up a lot of the time. And I feel like I am consistently in uncharted territories as a composer, as a young female of color, being a composer in musical theater. I feel a lot like I'm in uncharted territories. And I look to Jeannette a lot because the reality is all of our leaders, all of our inspiring people felt similarly. And we feel sometimes that we keep on going round and round and round and we're just making it up. But sometimes we have to just look within and fake it till you make it. That's not very Montana. What the hell does that mean? I'm seeing more to these borderlines, but I'm all alone this time. Pinch my skin to check if I'm still alive, cause I'm barely breathing, cause I'm sick of feeling like it doesn't matter, stay in line, you'll be alright, just do what you've been told. But that same story's getting old, I can see it all around me. I wanted more and more each day. They leave me no choice. I feel like I'm stuck on the ground. Forget all the noise, making it up as I go around, going round and round and round, going round and round. She looks at me like I've been seen. What could it be? It's for the very first time. Cause there is more than just one side. But through the rumble, making trouble, she don't understand the way I'm talking. I'm watching all these people walking. I won't leave it up to fate. It's time to make Montana change. They leave me no choice. I feel like I'm stuck on the ground. Forget all the noise, making it up as I go around, going round and round and round. The fire's blazing bright inside. I see it deep within her eyes. next up, I would like to bring up an extremely important person to me, but before I bring her up, I just want to tell you a little bit of context. So Edna, as I said, was Jeannette's younger sibling, and Edna is kind of a matriarchal character of the show. She believes in following the rules and playing the role in which her mother has set for the whole family. But then she becomes pregnant for the very first time with a baby girl, and things start to shift and her perspective starts to change. Please welcome one of my dear friends who I did Hamilton with, Miss Superstar, Candace Quarrels.
Hi guys.
Hi.
I'm gonna wipe this off.
Of course.
We're all gonna do it. I don't want to underestimate you. I'm praying that you'll never live in fear. But little girls are stripped of all their power, so I'll be waiting to dry all your tears. I don't even know your name, but I'm seeing the stars align. I will save you from the pain. I promise you I'll always try. It's a scary world I'm bringing you into. It's harder than the one I went through. But honey, I'm giving you courage to make it better for your daughter too. You'll be stronger than your mama. You'll be smarter than me too. I'm giving you my whole life, darling, so you can change what I've been through.
So, while Edna is singing to her belly, Jeannette is traveling the entire state of Montana. And when I say she is traveling, she is literally going in her car that her brother paid for, around the state of Montana, meeting, shaking hands, meeting all these individuals to be able to get men and women onto the idea of her winning and running for Congress. This next song is called Traveling Song.
3, 4.
We're waking up, going round and round, finding our promise, shaking hands, new faces each day. We're following that woman path, growing our purpose. It's new and real, they're paving the way. I love you, stay in the eye. Now, honey,
we don't all agree. It ain't easy to say the right thing day after day, but don't forget the women we change. I look you straight in the eye. Now honey, I won't compromise. Slap down, slap in you. Whoa, you're bringing chills in. You feel, hey, come on. Let me slap down, slap in you. Whoa, it won't take long, but no, we'll make you strong. In a traveling song. It's getting harder, going longer, but don't stop me now. I'm pushing through the pain again. I wanna quit, give up, and leave it go to my claims, but Greenwich grabs my hand and explains, Gee, we need you, don't give a thing. It's time we let you show us what you're made of. This is where we all can belong. Come in and wait, we gotta be ready. Come on. Losing sleep, 'cause this shit takes long. Is this thing on? Yeah, we come along. In a traveling song.
Who thought it'd be our own genie preaching our cause? Our little rookies making us proud.
For the people, she's a equal, no sliver of doubt. She's changing minds with only one sound.
I look you straight in the eye. Now honey, I won't compromise. Let me slap some sense in you. Whoa, you're freaking chills, man. You feel, hey, come on. Let me slap some sense in you. Whoa, it won't take long, no, it won't take long. In the traveling song. In the traveling song. In the traveling song.
If you listen to the lyrics in the last song, she says, Greenwich grabs my hand and exclaims. She's like, audience, I'm talking to about someone else right now. And Greenwich is this woman who is a radical feminist and a radical suffragist who inspires Jeannette and makes her see a whole different world of possibilities and stirs a passion and desire in her. And they fall in love. Jeannette was a queer woman, and it took us a year to discover this information out because history likes to rewrite itself. And I am so honored to be having two beautiful souls inside and out. Casey Breves and Sam Tsui.
I don't quite understand you. You look at me like I've never seen before. Your mind is racing and your words just can't keep up. Full of fire, 'cause you got more than luck. You talk a big dream and the dreaming's just the start. You're always chasing what you want. You see within me the role that I can't see, the heart and soul, that's all you breathe. And this is the hour I'm saying, wildflower, 'cause I need you more than I ever thought I could. You will empower me, my wildflower. I'm feeling crazy, like I never thought I would.
Like I never thought I would. You are something really special. I'm sorry if I'm coming on too strong. way you let those women doing it with ease. Just look at me, I'm also falling to my knees. All I wanted was a leader to make our movement stay right on top. Now you've made me a believer. I can't see another way without you. I will never leave. This is the hour I'm saying wildflower, 'cause I need you more than I ever thought I could. You will empower me, my wildflower. I'm feeling crazy, like I never thought I would. Like I never thought I would. Is this really such a good idea? What will my brother say? Will this distract me from what is real? The real reality? I don't know. Take it slow, take it slow, take it slow, take it slow. There's just one thing we know. This is the hour I'm saying wildflower, 'cause I need you more than I ever thought I could. You will empower me, my wildflower. I'm feeling crazy. This is the hour I'm saying wildflower, 'cause I need you more than I ever thought I could. You will empower me, my wildflower. I'm feeling crazy, like I never thought I would. Like I never thought I would.
Crying, and I know how that song goes. I wrote it. God, this song's so beautiful. You guys are so great. I would like to now, Jeannette, Edna, and Wellington are now in the waiting room. And if you guys remember that moment in November of 2016 where we are seeing every state either go one way or the other, and our eyes are glued to the TV or the phone, or whatever it may be. And so this is this moment without a TV and all of these things for the Rankin family as they are waiting to hear the results. And just as a spoiler also, she ends up getting the seat. And that's not a spoiler. But she actually gets the second seat. So the first seat, her kind of slogan was like, there are 2 seats at large open, and she said, vote for the best man, and then your favorite woman. And so she got the second slot because she knew how to manipulate the system. Anyway, so the song is called You Got This, and I'd like to feature Rishikesh Menon. Woo! And Nina Kasuya. You got this, you got this, you got this. You got this, you got this, you got this. My heart is beating out of mine. I just don't know what to, but I can make it up. I made a promise that I wouldn't know, but I just feel it, no, it's getting harder, whoa. You got this, you got this, you got this. And all my glory lies in her story, and all the deals
You got this. You got this, you got this.
How my glory I just don't know that you will. I made a promise that I wouldn't, it's getting harder. Waiting, 'cause my heart is beating loud. You got this.
Richie and Nina! So we were in rehearsal earlier today. And when you're singing your solos, you guys seem like you're like in an a cappella group or something like that. And I was like, yeah, we all were in a cappella. You got us. So this next song has kind of been like my anthem for the last year. I had the privilege of opening for Michelle Obama at the United States of Women. I had the privilege of singing this on the stage of the National Convention at the ACLU and in front of thousands of people. And it's been kind of what's helped me realize that like even now what is happening in the world, like we have to lean on each other, we have to celebrate, and we have to have joy, or else we will drive ourselves crazy, right? And we have to continue the fight together. And so we also just released this single a couple weeks ago with a badass a cappella group from the south side of Chicago called Musicality, so look it up on YouTube or Apple Music or Spotify. And the song is called We Won't Sleep. Share on the bass. We've been trying, woman, a child, couldn't make it easy, could live in denial. We saw the world end, but it keeps spinning, whether we're losing, whether we're winning. Then they start to fade while we're wide awake and feeling alive. Been staying up late, 'cause we know the stakes of losing the light. We won't sleep, they'll try to get us. We gon' reach, I'll reach out for love. We won't sleep, no, not till it's over. Even with the blurry eyes, baby, we won't compromise. I dreamed in color when I was younger, painted a picture, one hand in the other. Now I see shadows.
reach out for love. We won't sleep, no, not till it's over. Even with the blurry eyes, maybe we won't compromise.
I told you about Jeannette Rankin, right? She's this woman who won a seat in Congress in 1916, and she helped, no matter what anyone says, she helped get the 19th Amendment passed to give women the right to vote, to give white women the right to vote. And one thing that is extremely important as we are populating the stage with people of color is to be able to show and realize the parallel universes of 1916 and present day. As you can tell, the music is extremely contemporary, the dialogue is extremely contemporary, to be able for us to visually see the differences and the similarities, more importantly. And then when you think about today, who is making the change in politics, it is women of color who are making the change that we consistently see and are inspired by. And so, it's extremely important to also indicate everybody, no matter inclusion, true inclusion, no matter what and who you may be and where your ancestors may come from, is to actually share that on stage. And so this next one I kind of call the uncomfortable seasons of love, where we break down the fourth wall. If you don't know what the fourth wall is, what is the fourth wall? Is it just the audience? Okay.
It's this invisible wall.
This invisible wall. But like these are the other walls? The third? Okay, anyway. So the fourth wall. Oh yeah, I get it. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breaking it down that fourth wall. And we actually address the audience. So if I were in the show, which I am not, but if I were, I would say something along the lines, in the middle of this next song, my name is Ariana Afsar, and in 1920 I would not have the right to vote. My father is from Noakhali, Bangladesh, and Asian Americans did not get the right to vote until 1952. And so every actor would talk about their voting rights, ancestry, and heritage, or their parents, or whatever it may be. And we actually have this whole long conversation that our fabulous director, Aaron Ortman, creates this safe space and environment. So this next song is the uncomfortable seasons of love, called Disrupt.
1, 2, 3, 4.
a commentary on the guitar on my really epic jokes. Really appreciate it. So I'm gonna talk while I'm drinking water. So I always just start with the same thing. And she had her first day in office in DC, and there is this energy and this life and this growth in the city of DC, and hope and possibility and dreams, even though there was nobody else who looked anything like her. This is our time. We're climbing up ladder trees as we see all the passers go. We're breathing history, cause it's so easy, and the people don't even know. I got the power right in my fingers while I'm gazing at fathers that came before. Don't even hear all the little whispers, cause I'm set on making women bold. This is where we will stay, with every letter we're changing up the ways. We know that we're growing, cause we're showing with the break of day. We're gonna say what we want, so we'll be brave. We're preaching, we're speaking, cause we're leading. Remember to breathe, it's all that we need. The hope in DC. Reflections stare me down as I try for peace of mind. I found my fun, now there's only one story I'm gonna try. Every man that's created equal has got a woman that's stronger than you know. But we don't gotta prove to the people we're finding glory all on our own. This is where we will stay, with every letter we're changing up the ways. We know that we're growing, cause we're showing the break of the day. We're gonna say what we want, so we'll be brave. We're preaching, we're speaking, cause we're leading. Remember to breathe, it's all that we need. The hope that we see. Remember to breathe, it's all that we need. The hope in DC. So I performed an awesome concert here at Feinstein's and Vitello's, and I met an incredible singer, and right after we both got off on stage, we looked at each other and we're like, we have to sing together again. And it felt like kismet because we both had the exact same thought. Well, I hope that was your thought. That was my thought. I'm assuming it's the same thought. This next song, so her getting into office on the fourth day, on the first 4 days, she has one ally, one friend, and here he is Fiorello LaGuardia. We all know him because of the airport. I'm just kidding. He was a congressman from New York, and it actually is really, really beautiful. And we actually have this quote in it. When she ended up voting no on the war, the papers asked Congressman LaGuardia what his thoughts are, and I'm paraphrasing a little bit. He said, "I can't see because of the tears in my own eyes. We are going to war against Germany and not Congresswoman Rankin." And so he is the OG ally. And so here to bring another ally to the stage, the incomparable Jonah Platt.
Give me 1 second here.
I have Clorox wipes also.
Nice. All right. So fresh and so clean.
I can see that.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
3 days on your feet. I
I don't wanna pry, I don't wanna lie, cause I know that I don't know more than what I need. Could use a little bit, might be full of shit, I don't wanna sit on your show. I feel I'm right here by your side, helping you along even though you're strong, you just wanna go, go, go. It's us against the world. Wait till it's our turn. You thank me for my help. You'll take it from him, now your point is clear. Don't you put yourself out? Can you admit I doubt? You the ace of spades, better that I gave you a sense of what you're about. I feel no. I feel no. Maybe I'm alright. Stopping them up while you got the lock secret into your blood. It's us against the world. Can't you see our love? I feel no. Go and take my turn. It's only you I yearn. I'll make sure you're heard. It's us against the world. How about our?
And so if you couldn't have told, LaGuardia ends up falling in love with Jeannette and asks for her hand in marriage twice. And for many reasons, she was gay, she said no. And again, I think what is so beautiful about the relationship between the two of them is that quote that I just referenced was actually taken after she had said no to him, and his ego wasn't hurt, and they became friends, and they really were allies and friends the entire time, and I think the relationship is so beautiful. So we're gonna scoop back a little bit. So her fourth day in office, he's trying to help her. He's like, no, you look like an alien to everybody else, and you need to like play the game a little bit in order to get people to sign off on the suffrage movement. Her fourth day, she finds out that there's a war.
1, 2, 3, 4. Have you heard, it's the war of the world. Never thought it could be, this would happen to me. Have you heard? Have you heard?
Clearly there's one thing to do. We got to show them just who we are. Yes, what you're hearing is true. We won't back down from the war.
Have you heard, it's the war of the world. Never thought it could be, this would happen to me. Have you heard? Have you heard? Have you heard? Have you heard? It's the war of the world. Never thought it could be this one out of the world. Have you heard? Have you heard?
She votes no on the war, and like I said, she has so much scrutiny, and because of her vote on the war, among other things, she ends up not getting reelected into Congress. But she still has a year and a half left. However, Jeannette falls into a huge Great Depression because everyone is against her. All of her constituents wanted her to vote no, but everyone turned their back on her. And she ended up, as I said previously, Wellington helped pay and support her to win her seat in Congress. And so he felt that she owed her a lot. But he wanted her to vote yes on the war, and she ended up voting no. And so she ends up getting a telegram from Wellington and said, "You do not have a home." She gets a telegram and says, "You do not have a home in Montana anymore. You are no longer a Rankin." And even though she has a tumultuous relationship with her family means everything to her. And so this next song is sometimes when you don't know what to do and you feel like you have no purpose and no drive and no one is supporting you. Sometimes all you can do is turn into dreaming. When my mother warned me, I disobeyed. I thought that I knew better than her charade. All the wasted hours to prove her wrong, hoping they're not wasted, but then she's gone. It doesn't end with me, the uphill fight. It's the never-ending journey, the silent kind. I've walked halfway, is there an end? If I change directions, would it be pretend? So I'll just dream, dream, dream. Leave me to dream, dream, dream. I'll just go and dream, dream, dream. It's a dangerous game, such a dangerous game. Standing in the middle, so it seems, wishing it was simple. All my feelings, what am I looking for? Can't hold it in the past. I ain't seen this before. It's nothing, nothing that will last. I've wasted all this time. I keep on waiting on someone else's life. But here come those simple moments, simple moments, simple moments. Don't want these simple moments, simple moments, simple moments. So I'll just dream, dream, dream. Leave me to dream, dream, dream. I'll just go and dream, dream, dream. It's a dangerous game, such a dangerous game. So I'll just It's so dangerous. So if you want an inside peek into like how a musical is made, and Aaron Ortman, and we were in a room and I was like, okay, so I have this idea. I pitched this song Dream, and I'm like, what I hear, do any of you guys know that moment when you're in your car and you're driving and then all of a sudden just something hits you, and then you're like, "Ah!" and you like cry and you scream while you're holding the steering wheel, and then you're like, okay, it's fine. I don't know what I'm talking about. Yes, thank you. Please do not make me feel alone, or else my idea will not be. It has to resonate with other people. Anyway, so this was this idea. I was like, okay, so I have this idea where we're singing this song, and then she like screams and yells, and then she like zips herself back up together, because this is something that women know all too well. And we tried so many times. I was like, we had a group of actors come, and they would scream, and they would stop, and they would like sing the song again. And sometimes you have these ideas and these hunches of how you think a song will go, and it doesn't work, y'all. It doesn't work. Okay? So my advice to you is don't be precious with your ideas. In order for true collaboration and true resilience of the betterment of the show, you have to let those ideas go, and you have to be open and willing to change. Not that I'm bitter or anything. So this last song, I'm going to end the show with. So Jeannette Rankin was not reelected 3 months before the House passed the 19th Amendment. So she was in office only 3 months before the 19th Amendment was passed. And she ended up voting as a citizen and not as a representative. And to me, what this shows and proves is that we all have the power inside of us, no matter if we are a Congress member or a citizen or whomever. We have the power to make a change. We have the power to see the world differently in a new perspective and a new lens. And that's exactly what Jeannette did by just voting as a citizen. So Tennessee was the last state to ratify the 19th Amendment. The junior state senator, Harry T. Byrne, had the deciding factor. This young little guy had the deciding factor of whether or not women would get the right to vote. And he got a letter the night before the vote from his mother, and said, "Be a good boy and put the rat in ratification." And so today, I think in today's language, it would be something along the lines of, "Don't come home unless you vote yes for this amendment." And so this song starts with the perspective from Feb to her son, Harry. First lyric. Rewritten this song so many times. I try to close my eyes till it's over. Don't you forget, I call you son. In the end, it's always me. Now your words are sounding cheap. I can't believe you go against your only mama. Remember all the plans that you told me, of how you'd make it big someday. With every breath you make me proud, as you're fighting all your doubts. But don't you see me looking, dreaming from Candace, Jonah, Sam, and Casey. My name is Ari Aksar. Have an incredible night. Be safe, be well, and love others.